Welcome to the world of probiotic foods. This is Cultured Food Life with your host, Donna Schwenk.
Welcome, everybody, and thanks for joining me. Today, we're going to be talking about brain health and fermented foods. I've been getting a lot of emails about this, and I really wanted to address it because so many people are having questions about it. And fermented foods are truly magical when it comes to nurturing our microbiome gut-brain axis. These fermented foods, and they're living foods, don't just taste amazing, they transform our health from the inside out. And they do this by modulating our immune system, strengthening the gut barrier, and even regulating our neuroendocrine system. Fermented foods work wonders in this regard. The beneficial microbes and metabolites in fermented foods interact with our body's receptors, fine-tuning our immune responses and boosting immune health. They help enhance the integrity of our intestinal and blood-brain barriers, and thanks to these wonderful microbial metabolites, they do much more than that. And this also will mean a healthier mind and a healthy gut. So that's not all fermented foods can do. They also play a role in balancing our hypothalamic pituitary adrenal, or the HPA axis, and they also boost serotonin levels. That's our feel-good hormone, and believe you me, when I say I've experienced this time and time again with kefir, some of our yogurts, the vegetables, and fermented drinks like kefir soda and kombucha, this has really been a lesson in learning the last 23 years on how to feel good using fermented foods to enhance my feelings of well-being, which is bringing about more serotonin, but is also giving me more energy, boosting my immune system. I have really experienced that in my life. Even in personality changes, it's helping me be more positive, more happy, and healthy. So the healthier your gut microbe, the healthier and happy you will feel and be. Our gut is home to like hundreds and hundreds of different species of bacteria, but each one makes everybody's microbiome unique in different ways. It influences the species and diversity within our gut, and those factors range from what the bacteria we got at birth from our mothers, what we eat and consume in our environment now, and also stress factors, how much we exercise, and so much more. So our environment affects it a lot. The foundation we got from our mothers, those are all going to help influence the diversity within our guts. And what makes food such an important part of gut health is that it's an easy way to strengthen and diversify our gut flora. It's easy to make it grow and multiply. And when you have it grow and multiply, the good outweigh the bad numbers. And then you have the good bacteria flourish and grow like crazy, creating a very healthy environment in your gut. Now, the gut-brain axis is closely linked to the health and diversity of our microbiome. That means the less diverse our diet is, so the less prebiotic foods, which is, foods like leafy greens, vegetables, nuts, fruits, all of those things feed the gut microbes, but also the species we have in our gut also determine our mental health and brain health. And it can suffer if we don't have a lot of diversity. We know the wonderful bacteria help with digestion, they help with nutrient absorption, and then they produce beneficial byproducts like short-chain fatty acids, and those all directly affect our health. So by embracing a diverse and probiotic-filled diet, we're not just nourishing our bodies, but also supporting our mental health well-being. Now, let me talk to you a little bit about hormones in our gut. A review in Neuroscience and Behavioral shows that these fermented foods may be associated with improved cognitive performance, specifically because they can influence the microbiome gut-brain axis. Now, these foods, kimchi, sauerkraut, kefir, miso, kombucha, yogurts, these were all researchers' foods that were highlighted in this Neuroscience and Behavioral Review. And what they found is the fermented foods have a direct impact on the endocrine system, which influences hormones like ghrelin, neuropeptides, Y-glucagon, and GLP-1, which is in the news everywhere. This is a hormone that our body naturally makes to control blood sugar, digestion, appetite, and it helps to change metabolic effect. People are taking the drug Ozempic now that creates this in the body, But fermented foods create it naturally. And that's what helps to regulate your appetite. And it certainly does it in me. I've seen it thousands of times in myself because if I eat a lot of, here's the deal, if I eat a lot of things that are unhealthy, fermented foods help bring that back into balance, but won't completely do it if I continue to eat things like refined carbohydrates, sugars, things like that. But if I eat a really balanced diet and I include fermented foods, it creates serotonin. It creates this GLP-1 in the body, which really stands for, it's known as glucagon-like peptide 1 receptors, GLP-1. So it works that's what your body naturally makes, and fermented foods help that. And these hormones play key roles in your body function. They regulate your appetite, they help your moods, and they work very, very well. I mean, okay, for instance, in my own personal life, if I have things that I am needing or craving, kombucha calms me down within, 20 minutes. Kefir, any of those foods, not only do they give me nutrients that I'm looking and needing for, but they create a calmness in me that helps my mood, but it also helps me to really crave nutrient-dense foods. That's what I love about this, is that it does help me to crave it. Now, if you're going to go off the bandwagon and start eating a bunch of processed, highly sugary foods, then you're going to lose those hormones that work in your favor to help you. And fermented foods are very good at bringing that back into balance. And the reason I'm talking about it so much is because everybody's talking about it. So it's one of my natural secrets, I think, to controlling, cravings, food cravings, is to have fermented foods and lots of healthy prebiotic foods too. Of course, good, healthy proteins and fats to also regulate that. Fermented foods are so wonderfully rich in probiotics. So they are going to naturally increase these hormones that we need to stay balanced. And if you don't believe me, you should try it, because it works, and it works very, very well. Now, there's been some other studies that investigate the impact of fermented soy-based products such as tempeh, miso, natto, and fermented soy sauce. There's a really good fermented soy sauce that's naturally fermented. I think it's Namasoya. I love it. I buy huge bottles of it because it's been fermented for a long time. Most soy products aren't fermented as long and aren't living fermented soy sauces. And it's one of my favorite ones. And they have found that these types of soy products, natto, miso, are all correlated with better cognitive function in women. And I have the research for that, and I'll link that. And it's linked in the article. But they've also associated with lessening of age-associated memory decline. And there's another article that helps address that too. But they have found that it very much helps, especially in women, to keep their cognitive function at a very healthy level. Now, there's a new study on kefir's effects on ADHD symptoms. They also address sleep attention, and they also address the gut microbiome of the children in this research. So what they found was daily kefir consumption led to noticeable improvements in ADHD and sleep quality. Specifically, children in kefir groups experienced a reduction in ADHD symptoms severity as measured by the Swan scale, and there were positive changes in the gut microbiome composition. And these findings are so encouraging because they help highlight the potential of kefir to support health and well-being of children with ADHD. Now, I have seen this firsthand with some friends of mine. Their kids had this, and within a couple years of eating fermented foods and a healthier diet, their symptoms went away. It was amazing. Kefir was a big part of that. They also had cultured vegetables and kombucha too. But it's a great reminder of how powerful and transformative fermented foods can be. And I have witnessed that with some friends, and it was pretty exciting to watch it unfold. Now, another great support for brain health is einkorn wheat, which has an abundance of lutein in it. And that's the main carotene found in the brain. Lutein plays a really critical role in supporting brain health, especially when it comes to learning and visual processing. And studies have shown that increasing lutein levels can lead to improved memory and boost overall brain health. Now, Einkorn wheat contains 213% more gluten, 76% more manganese, 42% more zinc, and 37% more phosphorus than regular wheat. It also contains more magnesium, iron, thiamine, niacin, vitamin B6, and 29% more protein than wheat. And by incorporating einkorn into your diet, you're giving the brain the gluten that it needs to function best. And it's what the gluten in einkorn gives that yellow orangey color to the flour, which makes it also taste fabulous. But it has just massive amounts of gluten and vitamin A. And it also is one of my favorite things because it contains a different type of gluten that doesn't really affect people with gluten allergies. It's a completely different type of gluten that so many people who can't handle wheat can handle einkorn. I've seen it hundreds of times. It also has less phytic acid than modern wheat, making it so much easier to digest and bioavailable to our bodies. It's really fabulous. Now, kombucha for brain health is a powerhouse, and it's got so many different benefits. For instance, the first one, amino acids. Kombucha contains amino acids which are essential for the production of serotonin. Serotonin is known to improve mood, reduce stress, help you feel happier, more relaxed. Everybody wants more serotonin because it just helps you. And it has catechins, which kombucha, when kombucha is made with green tea, is going to give you all kinds of these compounds that help boost memory, keeping your mind sharp and focused. It's the green tea, like matcha tea, has an abundance of this. That's another great drink to have because they have these polyphenols in it, which is really rich in anti-inflammatories. And it also supports brain health by reducing inflammation, which is crucial for helping a healthy mind. It has probiotics in it that can reduce anxiety and depression and improve cognitive and emotional functions. And it also is anti-inflammatory, can help alleviate depression symptoms, and promotes better mental health. And the B vitamins that are huge in kombucha are B6 and B12, and these are vital for energy and mental well-being, not clarity. And it gives you the boost you need to tackle a day. Like I said before, kombucha is something I have when I'm feeling tired or a little bit overextended. Kombucha is fabulous for this, and it has a lot of support for the brain. And the more that we give our brain anti-inflammatory type properties that are come in our food, the better our brain will be. Now, bifidobacteria is really important. It has neuroprotective effects, and researchers suggest that these probiotics, the bifidobacteria, can support brain health by influencing the gut-brain axis. For instance, B. longum, which is bifidolongum, has been found to upregulate the expression of dopaminergic neurons, potentially offering protective benefits from neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's disease. This can help maintain cognitive function and mental clarity as we age. It's also anti-inflammatory and has a lot of antioxidant properties. And this helps to modulate the immune response, reduce inflammation, and the antioxidants that it produces combat oxidative stress, protecting brain cells from damage. And it also can help preserve cognitive function and also may reduce the risk of conditions such as Alzheimer's. And bifido, I think, is one of our most important bacteria. You can find that in our kefir soda and yogurt plus that you get bifido. You can also use HMOs to build up bifido. And it's a powerful bacteria in our gut that we really need to pay attention to keep our immune system strong. So the power of a healthy diet plays for brain is huge. It's crucial in promoting your brain health, and you can really see. If you don't believe me, you need to try this. You can significantly impact your moods, your cognitive functions, and overall mental well-being. For instance, when you are getting too much sugar in your diet and you're starting to have high blood sugar responses, it really affects your brain. You start to have gaps in your memory and brain because you're feeding inflammation, and you're also going to have less cognitive function. I've seen that in myself many years ago, And when I started adding fermented foods, that all went away. So there are different nutrients that we need in our brain to stay healthy. We need lots of omega-3 fatty acids, things like that are found in salmon and flax seeds. They're essential for brain health. They help build cell membranes in the brain, reduce inflammation, and support the cognitive function. And studies have shown that omega-3s can improve memory and reduce Alzheimer's disease and depression. The other antioxidant-rich foods, such as berries, I just have lots of articles on berries and how good they are. Those polyphenols in all of these berries, dark chocolate, leafy greens, protect the brain from oxidation, stress, and inflammation. And antioxidants like vitamin C and E can also improve cognitive function and reduce the risk of degenerative diseases in the brain, neurodegenerative diseases. Those are ones that, we can prevent this with our diet and with staying away from foods that create the opposite. B vitamins, whole grains like quinoa, oats, einkorn, and brown rice provide a steady supply of glucose to the brain, and we need lots of B vitamins to keep our adrenals functioning healthy and maintaining a healthy nervous system. B vitamins are crucial for that. B6, B12, folic acid, they all play a role in reducing the levels of homeocysteine in the blood, which is an associated risk of cognitive decline and Alzheimer's disease. Because if you have, high levels of homeocysteine in your blood, you've got some inflammation going on, and you want to reduce that. Fermented foods such as yogurt, kefir, cultured veggies, kombucha, kefir soda are rich in probiotics, which help support your gut health. And if you don't believe me, you got to give it a try. They can help anxiety, depression, boost your mood, give you a more balanced emotional state, and just make you feel better all over. Leafy greens. I can't say enough about leafy greens. They're so good for you. Spinach, kale, broccoli, they're packed with vitamin K, which we all need more of, which helps keeps our bones strong. Lutein, like we said before, lutein is a very important one. Folate, beta carotenes, all leafy greens are packed with those. They're brain boosting benefits, and they also help your memory and your cognitive function. Nuts and seeds are an excellent source of fats, healthy fats, antioxidants, and vitamin E. We need a lot of vitamin E that protects brain cells, and that also supports cognitive function. Regular consumption of nuts and seeds really into your diet have such a profound effect on your well-being. They nourish your brain with the right nutrients. They can enhance the cognitive functions, improve your mood, and protect you against those neurodegenerative diseases. So embracing a healthy diet, it's not just about what you should eat, but it's also what you shouldn't eat. And it's not as hard as you think. You start to crave the foods that love you back. And you should test this out because having foods that are healthy and rich, you need less food because you're getting more nutrients. You're getting less inflammation. You feel better. You want to exercise because you feel so good. Embracing these foods is so worth the effort. It can make all the difference in the world. It certainly has for me. Now, I have a summary of different topics on my website that I talk about on mental health. So I'm going to link this in the article, and then you can find all the links. Some of them are on social anxiety, autism and gut health. We have some of these articles. Can you make happiness in your gut? How your microbes in your brain work together. What you should know about short-chain fatty acids and fermented foods. And I have links to all of these different articles if you'd like to look and find more specific information on brain health and fermented foods, because it's really worth understanding it, because you'll feel the difference in your body. So anyway, I'm going to link the article, and then you can see everything on there that I've talked about. And you can also see the other articles on my website too. And that's all at the bottom if you want to look at that. And I'll put that in the description. So thanks, guys, for listening. And try some fermented foods and see what a difference it makes in not only your gut health, but your brain health. So have a great week, and we'll talk to you next time.